Cancer.
Hello Cancer, this is your October forecast for 2013. Sorry about your scope that came down there last month. Same thing happened with Virgo. Have no clue what's going on there with YouTube, but it's blocked my account. For some reason it got flagged. So we're doing it here on this website, and we're going to be talking about you this month and what is coming up. You have the sun and new moon moving through your fourth house. That's family. Family, roots, property, residence, those things. It's also about you kind of really looking at your needs at the base of your nature, your inner core. Those things that are like, okay, what do I need? Where is my place within this family? Not just the family that you've created yourself, but also the overall family image. Your past, you might have memories of childhood, teenagers, things that you did back then and how they're kind of trickling up through consciousness again and revitalizing those memories. Great, great, great time for it. There will also be more time spent in the physical home, maybe revamping, redoing, or redecorating or something that you find will bring some more of that feng shui into being, beautifying your home. And most Cancerians have beautiful homes as is. It is their forte. The new moon here, Cancers, this month will allow you to put down intentions of, just as you're out and about and doing your thing in the various rooms, kind of like telling yourself that, you know what, I want to keep this up, this attention that I have now here at home with the family and family members, that it's close to heart, and it's more you giving a vow to yourself that I'm going to be good about spending this extra quality time, the conscious time here with them. A little bit more each month that comes and goes, that this is where the attention is going to be. Now, Mercury here is in your fifth house. It's a fun place to have Mercury. It's all about creativity, you designing, redesigning. That goes right in there with your feng shui at home. But yeah, it's you thinking, in fun ways of how you can decorate, bring in more colors, for example. Those things can be refreshing for mind, spirit, and body. It's also your children, and you might see that they might need a little bit more of your attention, or it's you wanting more of their attention as well this month as you interact and communicate with them. Some of them have gone off to school. If you are at that age range where they've gone off to college, well, then that is also tying into your past, as far as family and roots and memories, from when they were little. So some of you are kind of like adjusting or readjusting to how that feels. And especially because Saturn is going through this very same house, so you might feel that for those of you in that age range, that is, that you're feeling that you've completed a cycle with your children and now they're off on their own. And for the younger Cancerians, those of you who still don't have children, grown up and out of the nest yet, well, for you to have Saturn in the fifth house, maybe that now you have extra burdens, now that you have maybe 2 or 3 running around in diapers. How do you balance your everyday life? There's more burdens put upon your shoulders, and Saturn works that way too. Now, it also being the house of love, and not the long-term committed type love, that's the 7th house, but the 5th house is those relationships where we date, we're out and about, a little bit here, a little bit there, trying to find what works, for the long term. Well, Saturn in this area might leave you feeling that it's not flowing as easily. Why? Because there might be other things that are tugging at you as far as responsibility, that you're not as free to be able to go out and about every weekend, maybe like you used to do, due to other circumstances that's holding you right here in this area. And Saturn's going to be here for another couple of years, so it's more like trying to find the space to do so when you can, but it's also all about organizing how you use your energy, how you framework it so you don't become overwhelmed. And especially for those younger, having a lot of smaller children, it's easy to get overwhelmed and feel that there's not enough me time to go out and expand and have fun and hang loose with friends. That can be a little difficult, but you know what? Saturn, whatever Saturn pressurizes, it helps us master and become more so focused and skilled at what it is we're doing. So don't fight it. If you work with Saturn, Saturn will reward you. You know, it's all about putting down dedication right now in this area that's so well needed. And Saturn here is the children looking to you for guidance, and right now you are mastering it. Venus has been here in the 5th house this month, so pretty much it has allowed you here in September to at least have a little bit more fun. It's lightened the scope, so to speak, as the previous months. So you've had little to do. Maybe you had somebody come in and help you with chores, or also you've been able to be out and about and travel perhaps a little bit. And this has helped to lift spirits. But see here already on October 6th, Venus is moving out of this area and into your 6th house, and then that's going to be back to chores and routines and so forth, okay? But I hope you enjoyed this period here in late September and coming into the first week of October to lighten up a little bit, laugh and have fun. Then we also have Pluto, as we've talked about. That's what's going on in your long-term commitment, how it slowly, step by step, is transforming you. And from one month to the other, you are starting probably to notice how it is from the inside out, from the depth of your consciousness to you rising and finding your way and your path in balancing what relationships and any one-on-one relationships mean to you, how you interact with them and how they're interacting with you. And yes, when transits are right, this could be really good, you know, those breakthroughs. And when transits are coming in at squares, well, this is when you meet the challenges. And that's when Pluto tests the very fabric of the nature between you and those you relate with one-on-one. Then we have Mars. Mars has been looking over your numbers, your income, your paychecks, where the money is going when it comes in, how to hang on to some of it, possibly, hopefully, and where it's running out too fast. And there might have been a few more expenses for you here in September, just because Mars is really active and bringing up that wallet and dishing out. And there might have been new things if you have children, you know, new clothes for school and so forth, always extra expenses there. But Mars now is helping you just to kind of finalize this energy just as we speak, because it's going to be moving into Virgo on the 15th. So you will see that that trend is going to start cooling off. But between now and October 15th, well, there may still be some expenses for some of you. And then you'll regain that grip. Mars at that point, after the 15th of October, is going to move into your 3rd house of communication. And this is going to energize you, you know, who you communicate with daily. Maybe you're going to be catching up more with siblings for whatever reason. It could be with neighbors or just get together, potlucks and so forth. And maybe also some of you are going to be seeing that you could possibly be traveling a little bit more, just short distance travel, maybe just away for the weekend and before the cold winter is upon us. Great time to escape up to the mountains, look at the colors of the leaves changing, right? Those kind of things. And then we have Jupiter still and will be until next year transiting your 1st house, doing its magic, doing its journey there, doing a good job of expanding and widening your heart chakra. This is where it's all working right now, energizing. Some of you may be feeling how your aura may be pulsating. You know, at times you might feel like a second heartbeat, but it's not the physical heart in here. You might feel it like here, pounding. Don't let that, worry you. It's just the energetic body, and Those of you who are into chakras, chakra systems, the aura, well, you know that we got 7 bodies and each of them have their own ruler. So the heart chakra right here for you, especially now when Mars has been going through Leo, which rules the heart, well, you could have felt some flutter, okay? And then you know what that is. It's just the energetic aura at work. Now, we have a full moon this month here in your career house, and I know many of you Cancerians are really into what's going on with your career at this time. Well, yes, there has been changes. There will still be changes for many of you, but at least those of you born the first third of your sign, you've pretty much come throughout this whirlwind change, and you'll see how those things have started to stabilize. You've already transformed and you're over into the new. But for those of you born like from the first third now coming into the second third, you're the ones who are going to feel somewhat more targeted, as if things might start feel like they're running out of control. And what does that mean? You know, it creates a little nervousness at first, because if you're used to having control, which is important to you Cancerians, by the way, that is because your opposite sign is Capricorn, and so that is Saturn. So, you know, you guys derive a lot of security from feeling you are in control, what you can grab onto and steer, so to speak. But Uranus is taking that steering away. Just ask those of your fellow signs who were born very early in Cancer. They know what this is all about. And to you, I just want to say the key word for you is to become as flexible as possible in this process. Okay? And the key word is let go, let God. Meaning, let go of those things that you cannot control and control those things that you can control, you know, the here and now. Because whatever change is coming to you is meant to be. And it's scary letting go of the old if it's not by your own choice, but say outer circumstances are controlling and choosing it for you. That's like, hello, that's free fall off the cliff, right? but trust, there is a parachute, you know, that is looking out for you. And actually it's just taking you from here and dropping you over there. And you'll see, once things fall into place for you, you will be so happy that it's happened. It's like a blessing in disguise. So when I say let go, that means that you let go to the process of trusting. Those things we can't see and we're blind is scary. But when you trust, it's like developing a second sight, knowing that there's energies behind the veil that's working for you, and you probably wouldn't get there unless these things happen. So there is serendipities coming in and around for you. It's a very exciting time, Cancerians. So I'm here, I'm looking out for you, you know, having Uranus here and then squaring your 7th house of relationships. It's like between work and your private life. It's like it's a never-ending seesaw. But I'm seeing how you're starting to master it. You're starting to trust what it is you can take grip of, and the process is exciting because you're heading somewhere, and you're heading somewhere big, Cancer, you know. So this is why I'm so excited for you every month, looking at your chart. And many of you now are really starting to listen to, paying attention to your intuition and your guides, your dreams and so forth. I hear a lot of your dreams when you call me and tell me what you've experienced at night. And yes, you are receiving messages from the higher realms. And, you know, so keep a journal for those of you who don't have it. You know, in a couple of years, 3 to 4 years, and you read that journal where you were now, it's like, oh my goodness, you will be so happy that you did. Because there's so much happening so fast, coming in back to back to back, that what really feels exciting and important right now, because you're going to have a lot of these back to back, oh my gods, well, they're going to be replaced with so many new ones that you'll already forget the ones that came in first. This is why I say write it down. In the aftermath, you will have a storybook. And then we also have, yes, I started to say the full moon here in this career house, so you should have some news coming to you. And for those of you having applications out, kind of look at what comes around there around the 18th. Will be a time of harvest for you, and hopefully good news. It all now also depends on what you have in your private chart and how the full moon will trigger those natal planets. What we're looking at is the transits of here and now for all of you in general. So let's say here, top of the month, Mercury and Neptune are trine. So it's like something here is going to feel really nice for you, where you're wanting to communicate what these loftier visions are that you're holding. Some of you may be really getting an epiphany and wanting to share it. And but Pluto is square the sun on this day, so it's like you might want to kind of bring it out and share with somebody. And if they're not getting it, if they're not really hearing what you're saying, just kind of like avert and hold it close to heart, because this is something that holds importance for you. That Neptune is in your 9th house for higher understanding, spirituality, and so forth. And not everybody around you may understand or get it, what you're trying to share. That just means that they may not be ready for it, so don't throw your pearls for swine. You will get another opportunity here for whatever that vision or dream was around the 6th. Mercury is going to line up with Pluto, that very same Pluto that kind of blocked it there on the 1st, and you will have somebody around you that's really interested in hearing exactly what that experience was. And for you, just hearing yourself communicating about it, it turns transformative, because it's like when we speak about our experiences, our new experiences, this is how we also allow ourselves to download and ingrain, embed it. And it might be even new areas for you. So it's important for you to communicate it. 6th is a great day. Venus is also moving here out of your 5th house. This is the fun time that you have had. Now it's going to be moving back into routine, day-to-day chores and so forth, but also having Venus here isn't the worst place to have it, because you might start, taking more interest in cleaning out certain spaces, beautifying those spaces that could have, accumulated a little clutter. And it's just going about it in a harmonious way, not like resenting doing it, but Venus will put love into it. And it's also about giving love to yourself and what you do with your physical body. Okay, so you might tune into nutrients and how you eat, dieting, and so forth here for this month of October, from the 15th into November. Great time to start any diet for you. Then we have Mars and Neptune opposing one another. This will be between your 3rd and your 9th house. And Mars is our actions. It's what we aim for. It's where we, aim our goals. And Neptune there in the 9th house, it's also communication, and the 9th house is all about truth, loyalties, and so forth. There might be something that you may hear on this day that either might be a white lie or a fib or an outright lie, or something coming across in miscommunications that may not be intended as a lie, or it could also be how somebody's going to pick up something that's not really what you said. So it could be you, Mars in your 3rd house, where you're communicating something to somebody, and they might think that they heard you say this or that, for example. Okay, so miscommunication here. Not a good day to have any kind of scheduled interviews, for example. Why? Because it's not going to be picked up, or it's not going to come out right, or so nothing on the 19th of importance should be communicated this day. Or in love matters too. I'd say schedule that for a little bit later, because not only is this a little volatile this way, but Mercury's just on the brink to turn retrograde. And Mercury's also communication, and so it might just get a little messed up. So anything around the 19th, 20th, 21st, hold off a little bit if you can. Mercury's going to go retrograde on the 21st to November 11th, so we have a long stretch there for around 3.5 weeks. And as you know by now, Mercury retrograde, never a time to buy new appliances or anything, especially not things going to the... Yeah, I'm sorry, I had some gardeners outside, so that got a little noisy. I don't know if the camera picked that up, so I just waited for them to pass by. But okay, coming towards the end of the month, we have the sun. It's going to be moving into Scorpio on the 22nd. And for you, that is moving out of your 4th house into the 5th house. So the fun that you've been having here, this little lightheartedness with Venus through your 5th house, is now going to be replaced. The sun is going to come in behind it. So that should be a wonderful time for you now throughout the end of October, coming into November, and more communication, more sharing with children, and also creative projects, and maybe you are going to start up something new after this date, and then throughout there of November, maybe some new hobbies, maybe catching up with things that you've been desiring to do for a long time, never did find the time. You will find the time now, perhaps. And then just to clear things off, the end of the month, it's ending with Mars-Pluto trine, and that is a very energetic time. Mars being the oomph, you know, the dynamite, and Pluto coming in being nuclear. Put the two of those together, you can move mountains here on the 31st of October. So you will be energized to do whatever it is you need to do. And if you've been putting off a big project, well, this would be the time to actually get it done. It's a great big lift in that energy. So this is pretty much what we have for you here, Cancer, this month of October. Do listen to your moon and rising sign, and the scopes will always be up on my website. Should they not come back up on YouTube for a little bit, you will find them there. I'm always here looking out for you. Alrighty? So have a good month.